This was a hard year for all of us, but despite ups and downs, we made it, we've survived, and I wanna congratulate everyone with that. In the gaming industry, we've also had a lot of nice new releases and disappointments. Nevertheless, 2024 is ahead of us, so let's look into the future in a positive mood. Today I've prepared a very promising game that might skyrocket very soon, so it's worth checking it before prices are up again and be the first ones to play it. Please greet and welcome an early access of Soulslinger Envoy of Death. Let's discuss the storyline, gameplay features, how it's different from other FPS shooters, what is the roadmap for it, and other aspects of this new masterpiece. After a fatal car accident, you die. But death brings you back and makes you a gunslinger in the afterlife. It appears that after death, not all souls want to pass through the gates, so they become rogue. In that way, many of them start hunting and collecting other souls for power. So it's natural that gangs and cartels may appear. And this is the reason why death chose you to take down the cartel. During your attempts to do the job, Death will be explaining more and more about how the afterlife works. I won't be spoilering here, but I assure you that it's a very interesting and with that simple story. As a matter of fact, the game itself is promoted as a story-rich shooter, and this is fully true. It gave me goosebumps in the first minute. My first impression was just wow, mind-blowing. Here we can see that developers are creating something they love. Along your journey, Death itself and other allies will be helping you to become more powerful and achieve your goal. But don't think that it will be an easy way. In one of the game trailers, the developer says that you will be dying a lot. And this is also a very true story. Here's an example. I've spent nearly 10 hours before I could take down the first boss. Before it, there were mini bosses. I'm an average player, so yes, you will probably spend a lot of time here too. Let's now talk about gameplay features. And here I must say that there are a lot of quite innovative thoughts implemented. Shortly, it's like Remnant 2, Bloodvest, Quake and Doom Serious in one game. Wait, don't shut me down right yet, but let me explain why. As you will be dying a lot, but then continue, it makes it a Soul-like game, but with guns. You will also be able to craft new weapons and various items and then upgrade them. Those items are not only for fighting but also for other passive abilities, perks and access to secret places. Yes, there is character progression in various ways. This means that you will have basic standard abilities such as dash improvement, gold storage after the death or damage improvement. But the main feature here is that every attempt to complete the run will be unique, as all other active abilities you'll have to find and activate. Moreover, locations and options to progress will be random each time. Sure, the difficulty will be increasing every time the closer you're to the boss, and locations will be repeating, but everything else will be different. Count of enemies, their spawn location, location of other items will be different, and chances to find heals is also different. And remember about items you can craft to access secret places with better rewards. Those will be random as well and may not necessarily appear. Basically, this is a very intense shooter, so you'll have to run, jump and dash practically all the time. In my opinion, this makes the game so fun. After each stage, you'll have a moment to take your breath, but it's your interest not to make it too long, trust me, otherwise you will spend ages before completing the first chapter. Here are also some quite unique mechanics of this game. With every reload, you'll be able to cut the time for that in half, if you manage to. In such an intense game, it will be a lifesaver. The dash can be upgraded. My personal favorite one is time slowing ability, but you'll have to find and earn it first. And, as with all other abilities, it may not appear in the current run. Two active abilities and ultimate ability will be of utmost importance to survive, so it's not just something that you have, but will be actually using. Still, think strategically before using ulta, as it restores for quite a long time and the next point may be the boss fight. As I've also noticed, there's quite a strong aim assist. Won't be telling anything about it as this is an individual preference. Gold dropped from enemies disappears quite fast, encouraging close combat, but be careful when approaching enemies as mostly they're the bigger threat the closer you are. No fall damage, move fast, especially when elite enemies around, they have special abilities too. No weak spots on enemies, just shoot. There is a melee attack, but I wasn't using it at all. Maybe this is an area for improvement. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is an early access. So far, only the first realm is ready yet, first boss. After that, all progression and items crafted are saved, but you can try again with a different difficulty level, with new artifacts and achievements. Also, one more enemy type will be available now. However, developers placed a detailed roadmap on the Steam page, and they have big but realistic plans. And the most important, they explain why it's in early access now. Here's some of what they say. We believe we have something fun already, but if our early demo has taught us anything, it's that with your help we can make it even better. We want to get our game into as many hands as possible and hear everything you have to say. As for me, it's perfect when developers tend to listen to the players. The same as I'm willing to hear your thoughts about this game, so please share a comment below. Also, I'd like to hear what game you are expecting for next year. What about graphics and optimization of this early access game? Here it is the thing that differs the most from other similar projects. There were no crashes, graphics are insanely realistic and beautiful, nice animations, and with all of that the game is very well optimized, having quite low system requirements for such level of experience. Cinematic parts of the game are thrilling and are indeed story rich, so all good here. As with every game, especially in early access, there are some bugs. Mostly they're insignificant, but let's take a look at the most funny and problematic ones. I'll start with the dripping nipples. Oh, Letty Valerie, just look at this yourself. And this happens all the time. With that, there is another small bug which sends you into the air. Another thing that caught my attention is strange moving trees and grass with the wine effect. It just looks wrong. But let's not focus on minor bugs and talk about problematic ones. First thing I've noticed is that NPCs are a bit stupid and can spawn in inappropriate places, so they get stuck. This is an early access and developers have published the roadmap with upcoming upgrades, and I'm sure that this will be improved. Another thing that ruined my run was that after I fell out of the map, I respawned in the rock. To be honest, this happened only once, but it's quite frustrating and such things shouldn't happen for sure. The last major thing for now is that sometimes close combat enemies' attacks seem to be locked on the player, so even after the dash and being far away, you still can get punched by a skeleton. It's very hard to notice, so I can't present this unfortunately, but the problem persists. However, my final word is, despite all of this, I enjoyed the gameplay and I can tell that it's better than in some fully released games. Second part of the gameplay should be arriving very soon, so I'll keep an eye on updates and make sure to try everything. I believe that the best time to support developers in their path is now. For me, it's a really good investment in quality playtime. Without any hesitation, I recommend you try this game. Additionally, there's a free demo version available on Steam, which doesn't differ a lot from the full version. In the description below, I'll leave the link to Steam directly and other marketplace where you can check this. Additionally, I ask you to support the channel with your likes and subscriptions so I could try out more quality games for you. Don't forget that I will make a €100 Steam gift card giveaway once we reach 1k subscribers here. In the end, I'd like to announce that next week there won't be a new video as I will have a small vacation. I wish you a good rest and a happy new year. See you soon!